The two managers, Earl Weaver and Sparky Anderson, were the umpires for the meeting at home plate. Let's listen in.
Oh, yeah. He does all right, yeah.
And with this guy throwing.
All right. Yeah.
Gentlemen, we'll start off. In fact, I want to congratulate all you fellas for being in an all-star game. Mr. Sparky Adams, Mr. Earl Weaver, umpires. It's really a privilege for me. Anyway, we'll start with the break. Up there, up above, side of play. Off the rubber. It's got to go in the dugout. If there's a glove on there, we count it as part of the dugout. The bullpen over there, if it goes over the roof, it's in. The foul poles of yellow is a home run. Above it, whatever it does. If it goes into the stands, it's two bases. If it comes back, it's in play. The flagpole, which we have discussed about 4 times, isn't that interesting? If it goes below, it's 2 bases. If it goes above the fence, it's a home run. If it comes back, it's in play. The left field foul line is the same way. The bullpen is the same way also. Now, if it should go in where them fellas with the white shirts that are going to scrape the field in the 5th inning, we'll call it dead.
All right.
All right?
Hit him and
call it dead.
Everybody just kill it.
Now, the tarp, if it's in play, all right. If it goes behind, we won't call it.
Get up on there and jump, right?
That's right. You can make a catch on it. Now, also, the dugout, it's got to go in if there's a glove, the same way as yours. Gentlemen, good luck to both of you.
Thank you, Frank.
Come out
Okay,
swinging.
how do we get out of here?
Take it back. Kurt, we saw the trademark of Vida Blue running out to the mound. He's running out to meet the #1 hitter in this National League All-Star lineup, Willie Mays. Let's hear what Vida Blue has to say about pitching to Willie Mays, the first hitter in this All-Star game.
Well, first of all, Tony, let me say it's a pleasure for me to just be here. But I think Vida will probably throw me the fastball. I've seen him pitch a couple of times, and I think his best pitch right now would be his fastball. So I think he will start, off the game with a fastball, trying to get ahead of me. But of course, you never know about what's going on. But as far as myself, I think I'll be swinging.
All right, it's Oakland against San Francisco, the old rivalry, in the first pitch of the strike by Vida Blue. I don't think any pitcher's ever come into this All-Star game with more pressure. This game doesn't count in the standings, but Vida Blue has just been hounded since he's been here by the press, the radio, the television, the public. Ground ball to shortstop. Aparicio up, and Willie Mays is out. 1 down. Henry Aaron will be the next batter. 2 of the top 3 home run hitters of all time. Mays and Aaron are hitting #1 and 2 in the National League lineup, which is an oddity. Of course, Babe Ruth, the top home run man. This is the 20th All-Star game for Hank Aaron. The first time he has ever seen Tiger Stadium or played in Detroit. The same for Willie Mays, which I say is a strong endorsement. He won the Gillette Trophy for the 2nd year in a row as receiving the most votes from the public of any All-Star player. Henry Aaron winning the Gillette Trophy. But that Mays and Aaron haven't played here, I think, is a strong endorsement for interleague play. The Tiger fans are really anxious to see them here. A strike at the knees by Vida Blue. How do you describe Vida Blue? I think one way you can describe him, a long, loose arm. A great athlete, tremendous football player in high school, marvelous rhythm, big bounding ball to Brooks Robinson. And his throws, Aaron, are 2 down. Joe Torre will be the next man up. He leads the National League in batting with a .359 average, 14 homers, 65 RBIs. The batters that we talked to that face Vida Blue say he doesn't look as fast from the stands as he does in the batter's box. That about a yard or 2 in front of the plate, suddenly the ball shoots at you. It takes off. It jumps. And it can sail. It can swerve. His fastball's alive. That's his pitch. There it is. He leads the majors in strikeouts. We've had Dean and Grove and Koufax and Feller and Drysdale, great pitchers come in here. Gomez, never with 17 wins at the All-Star break. 2 strikes. Blue 17 wins, the most of the pitchers had at the All-Star break. The previous high was Bobby Feller, 16 in 1941, and Denny McLean won 16 games coming into the All-Star game of 68. The National League high was Drysdale's 15 wins. Koufax, Marichal, and Necro. 2 down, nobody on. 2 strikes to Joe Torre. Playing Torre straight away. A high fly to shallow center. Looks like an easy 1-2-3 inning for Vida Blue. Mercer lost his cap. Look out. Carew goes back. And that's it. The National League is easily retired by Vida Blue in the top of the first. And so the American League now will come to bat with no score.
Buffalo Bill Cody influenced the legend of the West more than any other man. As a rider with the Pony Express, as a scout, as a buffalo hunter, as a showman. And although he seemed at home anywhere in the world, home to Buffalo Bill was Scout's Rest Ranch in North Platte, Nebraska. Today we're painting Buffalo Bill's place with Sears' best exterior latex. It's climate formulated for every part of the country. Here's where you need a really tough paint that'll stand up to the prairie heat or a blizzard off the plains. Buffalo Bill's house will look as good with age as he did. Sears' best exterior latex for great American homes like yours.
Coaching for the American League, Billy Martin, the manager of the Tigers, a former American League infielder, mostly with the Yankees, and Billy Hunter, who also was an infielder in his playing days, third base coach of the Orioles. Earl Weaver's selection here tonight. Well, all the talk's been about Vida Blue, but here's a fella, Doc Ellis, who has quite a record himself. He leads his league in victories with 14. He has the lowest earned run average, and he has a 12-game winning streak. The last time he lost was to the Dodgers at Pittsburgh on April 27th. Since that date, he started 13 games and won 12 times. Rod Carew got off to a very slow start this year. He's been recovering from a knee operation, but he is sizzling now. Batting .283. He was hitting around .210, .220 a month ago. He's hit over 400 in his last 25 games. He's a bat control hitter. He gets a piece of the ball most of the time. His 5th All-Star start. Playing second base. Ellis's pitch is high and away to him for a ball. Bobby Mercer will be on deck, and then Carl Yastrzemski. They're playing Carew straight away. Remember, a 30-mile-an-hour wind blowing from home plate toward first base. The ball, anything hit in the air toward right field, will be given a tremendous boost.
And the American League, with 4 left-handed hitters in the lineup, has an advantage. There's Mercer on deck of the Yankees. The National League with 2 left-handed hitters, McCovey.
Bounding ball to second baseman Beckert. An easy play for him, and there's 1 out. Bobby Mercer, who's arrived this year, is a real star with the Yankees. Tony Oliva could not play with a sprained knee, so Mercer replaced him as a starter. Mercer leads the American League in base hits with 103. He's batting .341. Not too big. You wonder where he gets his power. 16 homers, 50 runs batted in.
A real crouched batting stance. Holds the bat low.
A strike. He missed 2 years in baseball due to military service. Lives in Oklahoma City. 1-1. Well, the veteran Ellis is having a little more trouble with his control than the kid Blue. Blue is throwing strikes in the top of the first. Mercer's the only starter tonight, not counting the pitchers, who has never played in an All-Star game. A big thrill for him in Detroit. Change-up is last foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Mercer. 1 out, nobody on. No score, last of the first.
Doc Ellis, Kurt, can also throw very hard. I don't think as hard as Vida Blue, but this year he's become successful because he's gone more to his slider. His breaking pitch He's gotten better control. He's not trying to strike hitters out, just make him hit the ball on the ground.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fouled back upstairs. Johnny Bench ripping off the mask. They'll do that tonight on any foul ball to the left of home plate or third base way, because the wind will be holding those foul balls up from going in the stand. So the two catchers, the third baseman, are going to have to be alert. On deck is Carl Yastrzemski. '26-year-old Doc Ellis serving up a 1-2 delivery. Outside, a count 2-2. He lives in Pittsburgh now. He's born in Los Angeles. An outstanding high jumper at Harvard Junior College in Wilmington, California. A base hit, our first one tonight. Bobby Mercer's on. Willie Mays back to the infield with it.
Tony Caniglaro, as everyone knows, retired from baseball a couple of days ago, and the repercussions were felt in Boston. Billy C. criticized Carl Yastrzemski coming up to bat now. Let's hear what Carl Yastrzemski has to say about the problems up in Boston.
Well, there shouldn't have been anything controversial brought out about anything. I played baseball for 10 years. I love the game. I've worked hard to achieve what I have. I know deep down in my heart that I personally have not had anybody ever traded or fired.
It's Carl Yastrzemski as the pot is bowling during the All-Star break in Boston. Yastrzemski's flying back early tomorrow to attend a Red Sox workout. The count, 1 strike to Yastrzemski. Mercer at first, 1 out. No score, last of the first. Foul back. Yastrzemski tied an All-Star game record by coming up with 4 hits in last year's game. He had 3 singles, a double. He was voted the outstanding player of the game. He played 6 innings in the outfield and 6 innings at first base. Takes one of the hardest swings in baseball. 3 times an American League batting champion. A complete player, can beat you with the glove, the arm, running the bases, or with his bat. 2 strikes. Change up, bounce slowly to second. Beckert will have to go to first baseman McCovey. Mercer advances into scoring position. 2 down, and Frank Robinson comes into the All-Star game batting .310 with 14 homers, 57 runs batted in. He wants to manage. He has managerial equipment, but his own manager, Earl Weaver, says he's still too good a player to manage. So where do you find bats like Frank Robinson?
Well, he's had the experience managing the last couple of years in winter baseball. A good handler of men, and gives a lot of good advice to young players.
Mercer at second, 2 down. Fine stop by Johnny Bench. Ball 1 to Frank Robinson. Robinson will crowd the plate. Probably closer than any player in the game tonight. Led his leagues many times in being hit by pitch ball. Sends a ground ball to shortstop Bud Harrelson, who gobbles it up. And the American League is out in the last of the first inning. They had no runs, 1 hit. There were no errors, 1 left. At the end of the first inning in Detroit, it is 0-0.
Repeat after me. I, Johnny Bench,
I, Johnny Bench,
have switched to Gillette Platinum Plus blades
have switched to Gillette Platinum Plus blades.
because they shave me closer and with more comfort.
Me too.
Me too. Me too what?
They shave me closer and with more comfort, too.
You better just stick to catching.
Gillette Platinum Plus. Double edge or injector. Both with platinum smooth edges for smoother shaves.
Double edge or injector.
Can I get some Gillette Platinum Plus injector blades for my brother?
Sure, John.
Thanks.
At your local store.
Does my antiperspirant keep me dry? No, sir. You don't do what I do and stay dry.
If your antiperspirant doesn't do what you hired it to, fire yours and hire ours. Right Guard Antiperspirant. Get the drying agent that really helps keep you dry. Stops odor, too.
Well, it depends on the day. You know, on easy days, I'm dry, but on days like today, forget it.
Then fire yours and hire ours. Ours is Right Guard.
Walter Alston, a longtime manager of the Dodgers, is coaching at first base. Former coach of his and now managing at San Diego, Preston Gomez, coaching at third for the National League. And here's the power king of the majors this year, Willie Stargell. He has 30 home runs. He hit 31 all last season. He's knocked in 87 runs. Leads the majors in both departments, and he's batting .320. Everything in his favor tonight. A short right field and a strong wind blowing toward right. But he's facing a left-hander. Vida Blue hits Stargell.
Kurt, that appeared to be the first breaking pitch that blew through. He just threw fastballs the first inning. Let's watch it again. Stargell taking the pitch perfectly, turning his back to prevent injury. A breaking ball he tried to overthrow and got inside to Stargell.
Vida Blue now will face Willie McCovey, who's been a crippled player this year. He just came off the disabled list. He's played 4 games. He's going to have a knee operation at the end of the year. He's batting .285. Ball one to him, 11 homers, even though he's been a part-time player, and 41 RBIs. One of the picture hitters in baseball, hits with tremendous power and hits for a good average. Stargell on first, nobody out, no score. The 1-0 pitch. Blew it right by him, 1-1. You can always tell when a pitcher has stuff when he's hard to hit. Blue has given up only on deck his bench 5.5 hits every 9 innings he's pitched, and he's struck out more men than innings pitched. He leads the majors in strikeouts. He's averaged 9.2 strikeouts in every 9 innings he's pitched. Again, that quick one, that ball just jumping in there as it gets to home plate.
2 fastballs in a row, Kurt, and the first one to McCovey jumped into him, actually came in. Then he threw a fastball that started about the middle of the plate, and the ball sailed or slid away from McCovey, so his arm is live.
1 ball, 2 strikes to McCovey. Strike 3, got him on a blazing fastball. Boy, did that one pop into Johnny Bench's mitt.
His fastball never moves, it doesn't seem, the same way twice. He'll start a fastball low in the strike zone. It looks like it's going in the dirt, and it'll actually jump up those last couple of feet and get in the belt high zone.
Well, of course, the talk about Blue is his remarkable control at the age of 21. Koufax didn't arrive as a great pitcher until he was 27, 26. Lefty Grove until he was 27. It seems to take left-handers longer, but not this youngster. He's walked only 2.7 batters every 9 innings this year. Very good control. Bench lofts a high pop foul back toward the seats. Freehand going over, and it's out of play. 1 strike. And Vida Blue, in his last 2 starts, he pitched 9 innings, then an 11-inning game where he struck out 17 against the Angels. Didn't win or didn't lose. He left with a score 0-0. He hasn't walked a man in his last 20 innings. That's truly remarkable. Stargell on first, 1 out. 1 strike to Johnny Bench. No score on the top of the 2nd. There's a high drive to deep right center. That one is going, and it is gone in the upper deck. A tremendous drive on a high outside pitch by Johnny Bench. I was just about to say that Blue doesn't give up many homers either.
Kurt, that's the kind of pitch you rarely see hit off a hard-throwing fastball pitcher like Vida Blue or a Koufax or any other hard thrower. A pitch high and almost in the eyes of Johnny Bench. That's the ball that usually really moves. Let's watch Vida's motion all alone. He has a little bit of a pause when he's in his delivery, right about here, and throws the hitters off a little bit. And then that arm, like a slingshot, comes over the top. But that time, not good enough. He got the ball up, and Bench really powered it to right center. And I don't think the wind helped that ball too much. The ball just jumped out of it.
That landed over the 415 marker in the upper deck in right center. Strike to Glenn Beckert. That is a tremendous shot for a right-handed batter to the opposite field. You can't hit him much harder than that. Glenn Beckert, very hard to strike out. Batting .336 for the season. Curve is hit deep into left center. Mercer giving chase. He's over there. He's got it. 2 down. And frail Bud Harrelson of the Mets coming up. The key player in the Mets. He was kidding tonight. He said, I wonder how come they got all those other fellas hitting above me in the lineup. I mean, guys like Aaron and McCovey and Starkey. I ought to be up there in the power spot. He's batting .268. No homers. 20 RBIs. 2 runs in for the National League in the top of the second. Fastball, strike. 2 down, bases empty. Harrelson had 2 hits in last year's All-Star game at Cincinnati. Played just the last 6 innings. Foul back. 0-2.
Don't you know, when you talk to pitchers from both the National and American League, they generally concede that there is a little bit of a difference in pitching style. They'll say that the American League is more of a breaking ball pitcher's league, and the National League more of a fastball pitcher's league. Fastballers like Gibson, of course, Durker, Tommy Seaver. So these National League hitters are used to hard throwers.
2-strike pitch. Foul back. The fans selected the starting lineups. The managers picked the rest of the squad and the pitchers. The starting 8 must play 3 innings before they can be removed. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Curve is inside. Vida Blue needs more work on his curve, and that's what he's doing, trying to improve it to go with his fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Broken bat, fly ball to right field. Frank Robinson's there. And that's it. But Johnny Bench hit a gigantic home run to right center to give the National League 2 runs. 1 hit, there were no errors, and nobody left. At the end of an inning and a half, it's the Nationals 2 and the Americans nothing.
When DuPont introduced Rally Cream half-hour car wax, it kicked up quite a storm, because that half-hour shine is every bit as weatherproof, as dirt-proof, and as detergent-proof as even hard-to-use paste waxes. And here we go again with Rally Liquid half-hour car wax. Who said lightning never strikes twice?
Hey, Carl, want a lift? Got a new Dodge Polara.
No, thanks. Get in shape.
So bad, it's really plush. Come on, hop in.
Gotta get in shape.
Air conditioning's really great in here. Got it for half the sticker price.
Air conditioning?
You get especially a good Polara with stuff like radio, power brakes, and Dodge will give you half off the sticker price on the air.
Air conditioning?
Well, don't say I didn't try.
Brad, wait!
The gentleman in the dark suit with the glasses is Senator Robert Griffin of Michigan. Charlie Gehringer next to him, and Commissioner Kuhn in the white suit with the glasses, and Mrs. Kuhn. They're in the commissioner's box tonight. Norm Cash getting a big hand. First baseman of the Tigers. Just a few years ago, he was being booed heavily here by these hometown fans, but he's having his best year in 10 years. He's tied with Melton of the White Sox for the lead in homers in the American League with 20, batting .293. And he was mad about this All-Star game a few days ago. Foul ball. When Boog Powell was elected and then became injured, Earl Weaver decided he wouldn't pick another first baseman, that he had Frank Howard in there and Frank Robinson, or you Spencer to play first. The changeup is in. So Cash got mad at Weaver, but they patched it all up now. And Cash said, well, sure, I wanted to play. I wanted to play in Detroit. I was mad for a while, but then when I got to understanding it and talked to Earl, it's all cleared up. Cash strikes out. First strikeout for Doc Ellis. They called it the Brooks-Robinson World Series last year, and he's going right along since then, having another good year, batting .294 with the Orioles. He's had some key home runs this year. He's hit 10, knocked in 54 runs. Ground ball in the hole. Harrelson with a long throw to make, and he's got it. That's the play they test the shortstop on, and they scout a young shortstop. Can he make the throw from the hole?
Well, they say of Buddy Harrelson in the National League, and not just the Mets, all the other clubs, that he covers more ground than anybody in baseball. And he shows he can go to his right. He can get rid of the ball. Made a great play in the All-Star game last year to prevent a ball in Cincinnati from going to center field and break up a possible American League rally.
Bill Freehan, this is the 6th consecutive start, the longest starting streak of any American League players. Ray Fosse was scheduled to start, but he was injured and had to withdraw from the game. Freehan batting .279 for the Tigers. Ball 1 to him. 2-0, National League ahead on Johnny Bench's 2-run homer. The on-deck batter is Lou Aparicio of the Red Sox.
Freehan has been a hot hitter for the American League All-Star team. He's hit some home runs recently for the Tigers, hitting at about a .333 clip for the last couple of weeks.
2 down, nobody on. The 1-0 pitch. On the corner, 1-1 to him. There's a long drive to left field. Stargell back, has room, and grabs it right up against the fence. The wind held that one up.
Didn't quite get it, Kurt. It looked like changed up, and he got on the end of the bat.
So at the end of 2 innings in Detroit, Michigan, the scores are National League 2 and the American League 0.
You better hurry, Nancy. I'm pitching today.
Okay.
Well, what are you doing?
We need gas. $1 worth, please. Now for some quick starting gasoline.
What?
And then some detergent gasoline they sell down the road.
Nancy.
What's the matter?
Nancy, you don't have to make 3 stops. Pull in here. This is a Phillips 66 Performance stop. And these are Phillips 3 for the money performance gasolines.
3 for the money?
Right. They give you quick starts, good mileage, and cleansing action. 3 for the money, and that's performance.
Oh, Tom, you take all the fun out of shopping.
The Performance Stop, Phillips 66.
Get 3 for the money performance. Quick starts, good mileage, and cleansing action at Phillips 66.
At Phillips 66, it's performance that counts.